Hi everyone. I want to take a couple of minutes to kind of set you up for what's about to happen in this video I filmed a couple of days ago, because the video I filmed, what I thought I was about to get to do, I did not, because the outcome of what had happened the day before that, where the colony swarmed, was not the outcome I was expecting to see. The colony did swarm, but in my opinion, it absconded. My intention with the video was to divide these swarm cells up with what was left of the colony, the brood, the resources, plus take some other resources and make me up 3 or 4 good nukes. So that's what I had in mind when I opened the box. But as you'll see in the video, as I went through, I quickly determined there was no swarm cells, no active queen cells, actually only a couple of queen cups. The bees, in my opinion, they just absconded. They was packed out pretty good. There was no larva young enough to graft left in there. So I wound up just taking those and dividing them up amongst the colonies I have down there dedicated for bee production. But the reason I'm gonna go ahead and put this video out, this will give you an opportunity, just like me, to see what the inside of a colony looks like right after they abscond. If I'm correct in this, and I've seen this 2 times in the last 2 or 3 years, all the bees that can fly and the queen will leave, and all the young nurse bees, or most of the nurse bees, real young bees, and the brood's left behind. So if you don't catch that and you come along in 2 or 3 weeks, you've got a queenless colony that all of a sudden it's weak. So I think this is kind of an interesting view, and I want to go ahead and show it. A couple of years ago, I saw a similar situation, except that was induced by mite stress. I had nearly stepped on a swarm of bees on the ground, and as I looked down the line of the colonies I have there was bee activity at all the entrances. Then I went and started raising the tops until I come to the one that had almost no bees in there, and I found out where they come from. And in that colony, they had uncapped and drug out hundreds upon hundreds of pupae, and they was just laying on the floor of the inner cover. The viruses and the mite loads had got so high that they literally drove those bees out. In this situation, I had this colony set up about a month ago where it was after I had pulled out swarm cells then and made 3 more nukes with it. I had intended to graft some queens off of it once my other colonies got strong enough I could make me a good cell builder, and it kind of got away from me, and I thought it had swarmed, but in fact they'd absconded. And I may be wrong in what I'm seeing. Maybe some of you out there have a different idea. If you do, please leave them in the comments. That's kind of a new situation, but I think the educational part we can all get from this is just seeing the inside of a colony a day after it absconded. In my mind, I always thought when the colony absconds, all the bees are gone, but after 2 times of seeing it, I'm convinced they're not. They leave quite a few nurse bees behind, and the brood and stuff. Also, there was no indication, for whatever reason, they had not started or tried to do any emergency queen cells. There was not any larvae that I could see that they could go ahead and make a queen with. They was destined to be hopelessly queenless, in my opinion. Well, anyway, that's kind of the setup. So now I'm going to go ahead and present the original video I shot a couple of days ago. Hope you enjoy it. Hi everyone. Here before me, I have a couple of Apamay hives that I recently purchased. And I've had this colony in this one for about a month, and then today I'm hoping to get to utilize this one. This is a 7-frame setup. I had intended to buy these to make a cell builder with one to start queen rearing. And I know it's not necessary, but I just wanted to try these out. They're really versatile. And then this one I put my breeder in. A month ago I put in 1 frame of brood, the queen, and all the field force. And as luck would have it, I didn't monitor it close enough, so they issued a swarm yesterday and settled about 40 foot up in that tree right there beside me. And they're long gone. I just wished them luck. I didn't even try to get them. And by the way, that's the first swarm I saw this year, so at least I got to see one. What I want to do today is to come in here and see what swarm cells are left, and see if I can just break this up. And I got some colonies here that I got set up for this purpose, that I can take resources out of to make splits. So, and this is one of the nice things about this Apamay. You have 3 slots here that you can move this around. You can cut it off. You can have just a ventilation port or a queen excluder to allow the bees through. And there's 3 slots in here. You can slide this in like so, put your queen in here and let her lay. But what I'm probably going to wind up doing today is putting it in the middle. And if you'll notice, I don't have that in just right. So this will allow me to run 2 colonies in here. So I can run 4 colonies in this, 4 3-frame colonies in these 2 Apamay hives. and you'll notice they're color coded on the front, and that'll help the queen come back. You got green, yellow, and blue and yellow. But what I'm about to do is go in here and take the queens and see how many colonies I can get out of it. I don't have no idea, but we're fixing to find out. And I know I'm way behind on queen rearing, but I just hadn't had colonies here build up good enough yet to make a good cell builder. I've done looked 2 or 3 times, so I'm hoping after this year I'll have bees enough here I won't have that issue, and I can start in mid to late April like I want to do. Because I am going to split some of my colonies after harvest. But anyway, let me get my smoker. We've got everything set up here, ready to go. And let's see what we got. So this will be the first time I've looked in here since I put them in here about a month ago. Now I got to be careful, remember not to put this hot smoker up on top of the other one. I'm used to doing that. All right, we're fixing to see what we got. And if you're not familiar with these, they're insulated, they're built well. The entire hive body is insulated, this top's insulated, and it latches down, so it is pretty nice from that aspect. And the feeder and everything's built into it. You can feed them fondant or syrup up here. And they've glued this side down pretty good. Yeah, I believe a lot of the bees definitely left that swarm yesterday. There's not a whole lot in here. It was bearding out for a few days, and I should have gotten in here and checked it. So, but I noticed yesterday when I was going to run an errand that the front was clear like it is now, and I knew they'd swarmed, and they just got through settling up there, so I'd missed it just a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to try to get an outside frame out here, and we'll go from there. Man, they've made a lot of honey in here, I can tell you that. Yeah, there's some comb that's not drawn out straight. Beautiful frame of brood right there. May not have left many swarm cells in here. There's still a good amount of room in here, empty cells and stuff, so. Of course, those bees may have emerged out of there since yesterday. Well, this is not looking good in terms of me on making splits, because there's not the first swarm cell here so far. Lots of young larvae in that frame. Well, there's not the first swarm cell in here, so that's interesting. My only guess is that this is an absconding situation, and we are kind of in the shade here. Now this box would get shade for about 2 hours a day from about 11 to 1. But apparently, I mean, they're not aggressive at all. They've basically just left nurse bees here and the brood. And there's no swarm cells, barely even a couple of queen cups. So that's just my best guess right there. So that's going to scrap any plans of splitting this all up into 4 or 5 hives. This is really something I've not seen before, and I know it's not due to mites. There's no signs of, there's no evidence that mites caused the bees to abscond due to high virus load. This colony was treated back earlier in the year, plus I took all the brood out a little bit earlier, except for one frame. So the only thing that makes logical sense to me is this was just an absconding situation. That's just a guess. I can't say for sure that's what happened. But it looks like we got mostly just nurse bees here. They're not even in the progress of making an emergency queen at this point. So I'm going to have to take a minute and think about this and see what I want to do, because I want to have to combine this colony with something else, because this is not going to turn out well. I didn't really see any eggs in there for them to do that with. I did see some larvae on that one frame, but they look like they're too old to make a good queen, so I really don't want that to happen. So I want to think about this. If I don't continue this video, I'm going to take this and just distribute the goods amongst these other cell builders here, or the assets. I mean, I'll just put this box up and use it a little bit later. If any of you have any opinions or thoughts on what happened here, my guess is an abscond. I don't know why. They've been in here a month. I thought perhaps they was issuing an overcrowding swarm, but they've not left a queen of any sort in there. I just went through every frame. There's no queen, no swarm cells, no queen cells in progress. There's just some queen cups, a couple, and they're small. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on this, just leave it in the comments. I'd appreciate it, because this is definitely something I've not seen before. But anyway, thanks for joining for this video. Never stop learning. We'll catch you on the next one.